What is correct, and everyone? This is Zenless coming back at you with another Persona 5 X video, and today, screw it. Let's go grab Mont. Why is my audio not here? Hello? I haven't muted for some reason, that's why. Alright. So, I thought upon it some more. We'll say I did spend some money. Doesn't look like it right here, but it was off screen. Point is, nothing happened. Not a thing happened. No 5 stars, no nothing. So, thought about it. And basically, I was looking ahead at the meta unit, or not the meta units, I was looking ahead at the units we are going to see in the future, and while Violet is very soon, and so is Wind Vast, I don't have an ice DPS and I don't have a wind DPS either. I know Frostgale, Kotone, or Mont rather, is more so of a wind DPS than an ice DPS, but she can do both technically, and we have neither of them. I guess I could have also gone for Yusuke here. Or we could still go for Yusuke, but I don't know. We could. Problem is, someone's coming out not too far in the future where they're just gonna straight up be better than him. I don't know, that doesn't matter too much because, like, honestly, something I've noticed about this game, and I've kind of known for a while, but it's really clicked more recently, is that unless you're climbing like the guild stuff or Sea of Souls, you really do not need to play into the meta in this game. The only stuff you really need to have, so to speak, is like support characters or like your enablers. So maybe, like, let's say there's like a limited version, let's say Rin was limited. You would want her for your Joker. I mean, obviously they worked well together, right? They were planned that way, but she's an enabler for Joker is my point. So either an enabler or a buffer like Cord is someone you would want for your DPS, right? So unless, I guess, kind of just, I mean, this is a very common gacha thing, right? You find out what team you want to run and then you just build that exact team. Sometimes you can manage without the best possible options, but most of the time, a lot of the games don't let you do that. P5X is so non-competitive unless you are climbing ladders, to the point where honestly you could have Cord and run her on every single freaking team and you'll be fine. Like, these reward limits are really not that big of a deal. Like, if we take a peek at guild stuff, right? All you need is to hit 7.5 million per each thing, and honestly, as long as you're trying to be at least on element, you should be fine. So it's just kind of the case where it's like, you kind of don't really need to go for a meta. Like in this case, like physical, yes, we have Ryuji or you have Mesa. One thing I like to do in these games is I like to have one element of each character, and then if I have to break it down more than that, like let's say there's a physical AoE character that's coming out at some point, we could maybe, instead of having Ryuji, then do everything for physical, then we'll have that AoE physical character do half of the load, and then if it's a single target situation, then we bring Ryuji. So sometimes I do stuff like that, but it's like, I like to have one of each element, generally speaking. And honestly, I'm sure you guys see right here, I could go for Yusuke. I like Yusuke a lot. Problem is, someone's coming out in the near future. I mean, I guess I could just show who it is, but where is she? It's her summer version. Point is, she's gonna be a lot better, and I don't really care about Puppet that much as a character so far, so it's kind of like she fits that. Long story short, She's wind and she's ice. Yes, she's more wind than ice, but like wind doesn't really have a single thing that would really like. They don't have a single character that's like, oh yeah, this is the DPS for this, that I personally like enough. Yusuke is all, yes, I could pick Yusuke and it would be okay, but like I don't have Cherish. I skipped him because we didn't have him, so I think we're just probably gonna go for Mont right now. And then there's the thing where, like I said, I like having at least one of every element. If I really don't want to spend on Violet, but like now that we're doing this, if I have to, it's fine. I'll deal with it. Might be a bit unfortunate, but it'll be okay. One thing I just don't love is the fact that we're really gonna have to freaking save very soon. Like once Windvast comes out, we literally just have to cut off any and all summons until like I think basically Anniversary, which is good and bad. Bad because can't summon for anyone, but good because I mean we'll get those busted characters. But let's just go ahead and grab our Kotone right now. We're probably gonna try to go for her 5-star weapon. We're probably gonna try for that. We'll see though. I don't know how many. I haven't really done the 3.0 update like for the story content yet, so I don't know if there's 7k gems in here, and I don't really want to spend anymore. It looks like we just got a normal. Looks like we just got the normal 1 SSR. Anytime. There we go. Yeah, she was one of those characters where it's just like, the more I thought about it, would I necessarily recommend her in terms of meta? Not really. If you have I guess this is another problem. Mont herself is a single target character. She's most optimal in single target. That said, we don't have a wind character in this game as a DPS, and I don't think we're gonna be getting one anytime soon. At least, very soon we're not getting one. Yusuke's gonna be... Yusuke's in the point now where he's gonna start falling off as well. That's another problem. I mean, obviously, like I said, meta doesn't really matter, but in terms of me wanting to pull for him specifically, kind of not... Like, I would have had to spend money on him or whatever it was earlier. Maybe I would have had to dip out on a Joker copy and go for him instead, but I don't know. As it is right now, I'm not incentivized enough to go for him. Funny thing, this is her 4-star weapon, but not Frostgale, it's the 4-star one. This one. Because, it's Ice Crystal. I don't think we have enough stuff left over, do we? No, we don't. Alright, so we have 13 pity. I do think I'm going to try to go for this, though. It would be nice to... Let's see. That's not what I wanted to look at, this one. 30% attack buff, that's not bad. Gains either these stacks, gets crit rate, okay. Maybe she does want this. Yeah, getting her more crit rate is going to be very helpful. Let's compare this to her A1. That is not... Okay. Resonance damage increase for wind side and then ice side. Same thing. I'm thinking probably the weapon for her then. Yeah, man, I'm not the most familiar with her kit yet, but unless this specifically increases crit rate for her, because one of the problems I remember her having is that she really did want to have as much crit rate for her follow-up attack as possible, and it doesn't seem like that's gonna be a thing. I mean, she'll serve well enough for our purposes. I don't love the idea of using her for multi-target, but I was also using my goodness, the twins, and it's like they can handle ice somewhat, but they can't handle wind at all, so that was another reason why I got her. I could see myself quote-unquote regretting pulling Manta most, but I enjoy her as a character, so I don't know if I really will, but maybe. At the very least, I'm hoping we can get her 4-star weapon. Speaking of that, I do want to see what it does. Bruh. Unless they just have the same 4-star weapon for her, but that would make a ton of sense. Usually they give something different. Yeah, okay, it should be this one then. Unless I'm tripping. Okay, yeah, I was not wrong. She does have her own 4-star weapon. I mean, it makes sense. It's the 5-star character. She should be getting a 4-star and a 5-star weapon. It's just it wasn't showing there for some reason. I would like at least to get the new one. We'll see. I mean, worst case, we could just visit EY and then we could just pick it up off him, but eh. Speaking of EY, I actually need to double check if Brother Man... I remember we can pick a 5-star weapon. I just don't remember if it can be the current on rate up weapon. I believe that's not possible. I think that something like the character has to rerun first. I believe that's what it was. And we haven't had her rerun yet because this is her first banner, so yeah. We're basically just on freaking 5-star weapons right now then. Or standard pool 5 stars, that is. Huh. Yeah, nah. I guess for now, we'll pick up one of them because we have so many. 115. We'll put that on her. I don't use them anyway, so picking that up isn't really that big of a deal. There we are. Looks a little better than her 3 stars, so that's good. Alright, well, we'll be trying to get her 5-star weapon, but if we can't, it's not that big a deal. I can always get it later. I would like to get it though. If we get lucky, we only need 6,000 gems left, which should be fine. We'll see. I need to remember to freaking start showcasing some of these characters. I feel like I'm kind of behind on that aspect. I think I'm also trying to figure out which 2 games I want to focus on, because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, P5X hasn't been doing as well as I would like, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to pivot to something else or not, because I'm also enjoying... I mean, I've always liked Zenless. It's also like, it's another thing is I don't know if I'd say I'm casual at Zenless, but I'm not sweaty. I guess I'm not at the skill level. Like, I don't know all of the rotations, relics, all that other stuff. I don't know a lot of the specifics that I feel like I would need to know to be a Zenless creator, but if that's what gets more people talking, well, everything like that, or, you know, I just, really depends. We'll see. Unfortunately, the views kind of do matter as to which games I want to spec into. Star Rail, I think, is one of the games where, like, I enjoy the game so much to the point where I just don't feel like I need to care about the views aspect nearly as much because I enjoyed the game to a level that I just feel like I'm gonna be playing it regardless whether or not for content. Like I'll be playing P5X anyway. Am I gonna make content on it? I'm not so sure anymore. Of course, you guys, you know, like, comments, all that business if you really do want me to keep making P5X content on here, because I'll be playing it regardless. That's one of the reasons I started making content on here to begin with, is because I was already playing the game. I figured why not, but now that honestly it kind of feels like it's fallen off a lot. I don't know if it's because P5X's sentiment has been down recently or what, or if it's just maybe YouTube doing YouTube stuff. I don't know. I will try to put out some, or at least, you know, put out some more content, see if maybe it's just my side. Maybe I just should have been uploading more P5X and it's on me. Hard to say. But it's always just felt like Star Rail has specifically been more, I guess I'll just say more popular for my channel at least. But I will try to do some more P5X stuff more recently. Or not more recently. Try to do more P5X stuff in general. I don't know if you guys heard that guy speed past my house like a freaking madman, but if you did, sorry. Where was I? I'll try to do more P5X stuff is what I'm saying. If that's something that you guys want to see, then I'll, you know, make it a mainstay. I know it's on my banner for P5X being one of the mainstays, but like I said, it's really not been popping recently, so it kind of is making me reconsider potentially if this is another, because I the way I'm thinking is I want to do at least until we have a good amount of traction going. I think I want to have 2 main games, and my thought process was that it was going to be Star Rail and P5X, but now that this game itself hasn't really been popping, I'm starting to think, what other game would I pivot to? Because then I also got to learn more about said game and its specifics to make me feel like I'm actually valid enough to make all of this like content and recommendations and all that stuff like that. That's another thing, is I feel like I know more than enough about P5X to make said content to begin with. So the fact that, you know, like I said, it's just a time thing as well. I do think I'm gonna be starting to make content on Star Rails, my alt for Star Rail, because 4.0 is coming up, and I kind of need to make that alt because there's only so much money that I have to cover every single character, and you know, an alt kind of solves that problem, because just whatever we don't pull for on the main, we pull on the alt. This feels pretty simplistic to me. Anywho, wasn't planning to go off topic this much for this video, but just kind of thought I would touch base on where we are with P5X in its content. Like I said, I think I will try and do some more P5X stuff in a chain to see if it really is just me not uploading it as much and it's literally my fault. It would not shock me. I really haven't been playing it as much recently, at least, but it kind of seems like the Hoyoverse stuff is more enticing to people, and you know, that kind of does matter. Like I said, I'm not going to be quitting any of this game. It's just like in terms of content where I would be pivoting. Star Rail's staying for sure though. It's just whichever second game we'll pick up. I will say Arknight's Enfield is something that I'm keeping my eye on. I'll probably do some content on that whenever that comes out in the next, like, I think it's 2 weeks from now, give or take. It's the 22nd from this, I believe. I believe it's the 22nd of January. Yeah, that's like 2 weeks out, give or take. Maybe a little more, a little less. That's one thing I could see being the second game. I gotta play it first though. I haven't played anything of it, but it looks very enticing to me, so that might be what we end up picking up. We'll see. Definitely stay tuned for more Star Rail stuff though, because that'll be coming out. Anywho, regardless, I hope you enjoyed my incessant rambling and all that business, but I'll be building Frostgale Kotone pretty soon, and then we will try and showcase her in some situations. Hopefully we can get her freaking weapon before then. We'll see. Regardless, I hope you guys keep coming back for more content, and I will catch all of you in the next video. Laters.